Hey! On running, Swiss engineering. Oh, some pigeons.
Do we need a clap?
Clap. Boys in their shoes, eh?
Speed it up, 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 speed it up. Go faster, ayy. Go faster, ayy. Go faster, ayy. Go faster, ayy.
Hey guys, it's Tom here from Pro Direct Running. Welcome back to the channel, and today you can see that I'm joined once again by the very lovely Ben from Ben is Running.
And today we're down here in Victoria Park to give this shoe, the On Clousurfer from On Running, a bit of a wear test. We're going to be taking it for a few laps of the park and I'll give you my first impressions.
So Ben, we are both very excited about this. It promises to be potentially the most versatile shoe from On yet. So without any further ado, shall we jump into some of the key tech and features that people can find on the Cloudsurfer?
Yeah, let's get into it.
You do you, I do me. I'ma take this overseas. I'ma do this with my seeds. Wipe your hair and bling bling.
So Ben, I know that like myself, you've had a fair bit of experience with On shoes and think very highly of the Cloud Monster, which we'd both probably put right at the top of our list of versatile daily trainers. The Cloudsurfer, technically in its 7th iteration now, where do you think it is going to fit compared to a shoe like the Cloud Monster from On, for example?
Yeah, for me, obviously I've only done a couple of runs in it, about 25 kilometers in total. But compared to the Cloud Monster, it feels a little bit softer. This, interestingly, doesn't have a speed board, which is quite an innovation for On Running, which means that this shoe is a little bit more flexible, and I think it's going to be suited a bit more to recovery and easy day running. Interestingly though, on the run I did do, when I picked up the pace, as these cloud pods compressed, it seemed to give me quite a good energy return. So you can almost do quite a wide variety of running in it. It seems to be quite a versatile option for a daily trainer.
Yeah, and I think you touched on it there, but when it speaks to the versatility of the shoe, the weight is very, very good. You're looking at about 250 for a sample size and 230 odd in your size.
Yeah.
Which for a versatile daily trainer, which you're going to be able to do a bulk of your training in, is really quite impressive and very comparative to anything else on the market.
Yeah, it really is. So we've talked a little bit about the shoe. Should we jump into some stats and features?
Yeah, let's do it. Maybe if we start from the upper and work our way down throughout the shoe.
Yeah, sure. So upper with this shoe is an engineered mesh. We've got a double layer of it here at the front. It's nice and breathable. And we've also got a new lacing system here on this Cloudsurfer as well.
Yeah, what I like in particular about this lacing system is how it's very reminiscent of what people might have found on Flywire from Nike shoes, which for those who are familiar, just felt really nice over the top of the foot, gave you a nice secure lockdown, and it seems like we're going to get that here with the Cloudsurfer. As well as that, the tongue being fully gusseted, it always helps, you know, having a fully gusseted tongue. It's not going to move around inside the shoe, and it's a nice amount of padding on here as well. It's not overdone. It's a subtle amount of plushness, I'd say.
Yeah, it's definitely on the plush side of things. Putting this shoe on foot, it's a very comfortable feel. It's going to be great for those daily miles, but you still get a really good and solid lockdown despite having quite a lot of cushioning on that tongue. It felt nice and secure on my first few runs.
Yeah, and would you say true to size for yourself? I've literally just put the Cloudsurfer on, had a little walk around in it. I've not been able to run in it yet. But from your standpoint, are we looking at true to size?
Yeah, I think so. True to size for me. Maybe consider going half a size up. But for the majority of people, I think staying to your usual size will be absolutely fine with this one.
Perfect. Now, On running shoes have always had a very strong visual identity. You've always been able to recognise an On shoe from the Cloud tech. But if we're talking about the midsole here, it's actually quite a different construction, geometry, even a different midsole compound in the Cloudsurfer. So can you tell us a little bit about that and what's going on here?
Yeah, sure. So with the Cloudsurfer, we've got a new technology here that they call in the Cloud Tech phase. And as you can see, with the way these cloud elements are arranged, almost in like a dominoes effect, they compress and give you a really nice smooth transition up onto the toes. And you can really notice that when you put the shoe on. Interestingly, as I was saying, it doesn't have a speed board in it, so it doesn't have the same rigidity as something like the Cloud Monster does, but you still get a really nice smooth transition as those pods compress. So I think this is going to be the standout feature for this shoe, and I think it's what people are going to really get on well with.
Yeah, actually, here's one we prepared earlier. When you look at the Cloud Monster and when you feel it in hands, like when you're trying to compress those cloud pods, there's a lot more rigidity. They're a lot firmer than what you've got on the Cloud Tech phase midsole compound in the Cloudsurfer. And I think you know, you can speak from personal experience. Obviously, like I say, I haven't run in it yet, but it feels much softer underfoot, a lot more compressive. And we're talking off camera, you said that this is probably the first on-running shoe that actually lives up to the slogan, run on clouds.
Yeah, so the Helion foam in the Cloudsurfer, I definitely think is a lot softer than we've had in the previous shoes. And as Tom was saying, the soft and smooth transition through your foot strike actually feels like you're running on clouds, which, yeah, it's probably the first time with on-running shoes that you can actually say that, because traditionally some on-running shoes, especially the Surfer range, have been really quite firm underfoot. So people haven't really been able to relate to that, their slogan. But I think when people get their foot in this shoe, you're definitely going to feel that cloud sensation. And it's been, yeah, a really nice shoe to run in so far.
So that's the midsole out the way. Finally, what have we got going on with the outsole of the Cloudsurfer?
Yeah, so we've got a little bit of more hardened rubber, especially on this toe area, quite a lot of it actually, and a little bit here on the heel, which is just going to help improve the durability of this shoe. Interestingly, we've still got the groove here from On Running, which in some of their previous models would catch some stones, but this seems to be a lot less prominent. So from my first few runs, even on the gravel footpaths yesterday when I was out running, it didn't pick up any stones or debris. So I definitely think that's a big improvement, but you still get that nice trampoline effect by having that groove there in the bottom of the shoe.
Yeah, it's very evident when you compare the Cloudsurfer to a shoe like the Monster, where you can see quite how deep the groove in the outsole is in the Monster, and also you can get your finger right up into the clouds under the Cloud Monster, which you can't do on the Surfer. So again, like you say, it should just limit any of that debris getting stuck in the shoe, which, you know, can be a little bit frustrating if you get a rogue stone stuck in one of the cloud pods. So we shouldn't have that issue with the Surfer in the same degree. The other thing that I noticed with the Cloudsurfer is that we have got a fair bit of exposed foam in the rear foot, midfoot type area. I'm guessing that for yourself, this is a shoe that you're going to use exclusively on the road. You're not going to be taking this off the beaten track or on even anything, you know, like canal towpath, crushed dirt. Is this going to be an exclusive road shoe for you? Yeah,
I think so, mainly on the road. I did actually try it a little bit on the trails and a bit on the cinder track here today. And interestingly, the grip is actually pretty good on those conditions. So if you want to transition from the road onto some footpaths, I definitely think this shoe is going to be able to handle that, but I reckon primarily I'll use this as a road shoe.
So just as a final note on the use case of this shoe, obviously you and I and plenty of people who are probably watching this video have got the luxury of having quite an extensive running shoe rotation, where the Cloudsurfer would fit in really nicely as you do it all daily trainer. You might take it out for easy runs, recovery runs, or long runs without a specific prescribed pace to them. But for someone who was looking for like one shoe to do it all, one shoe that they could do their long runs in, their sessions in, do you think the Cloudsurfer has that level of versatility to it based off the couple of runs you've done in them?
Yeah, 100%. I think of all on-running shoes that I've personally tried, this is probably the most versatile and is going to suit a wide range of people, as we were saying. It's a nice soft ride that is going to be great for those recovery easy runs, but also when you put a little bit more speed into this shoe, it really comes to life. It's not the most responsive of midsoles in terms of comparing it to some other shoes out on the market, but as you pick up the pace, as those cloud elements compress, it actually does pick up the pace quite well. So I think for me, it's going to be quite a versatile shoe to add into my rotation.
Yeah, I think the number one thing that I'm most curious about with the Cloudsurfer is durability of that new midsole. Obviously, if you've got a firmer compound like what we've got in the Monster or any of the previous On shoes, naturally it's not going to compress to the same degree as a softer compound. And as you mentioned, we haven't got a speed board in there, we have in the Monster. So I would be really curious to see how the Surfer holds up after 100, 200, 300 miles. But so far, are you noticing any sort of compression? Like you ran 20k in it, that's enough to sort of notice any bottoming out of a midsole, I'd say. Any of that on your run?
Not yet, but yeah, I'm also in the same boat where I feel like durability over a longer period of time may be something that needs monitoring, but we can't really tell from the first few runs. It seems to have held up pretty well. The cloud elements do compress, but that is what they're designed to do, and it gives you a really nice ride when running in it, nice and soft and smooth. So I wouldn't worry about that too much, given my first impressions today.
Yeah, ultimately I just think it's really exciting to see On. They've done all the groundwork when it comes to signing some of the best athletes in the world. They've got an incredible setup with the OAC lot. And now you're finally starting to see the product match the athletes that they've got, right? So the Cloud Monster, me and you, I don't know how many miles you've got on them, but I must have 400 or 500 miles across a couple of pairs.
Yeah.
And now to see a Cloudsurfer come in and fill another gap in the market, it's really nice to see. And when that Cloudboom Echo 3.0 comes along later this year, I think On Running are finally going to have a very comprehensive lineup.
So that pretty much summarises my first impressions of the new Cloudsurfer from On Running.
If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more of Ben's lovely face on our YouTube channel, make sure to like the video, subscribe and turn your notifications on so you never miss a future running shoe review.
And the Cloudsurfer is now available on ProDirect website. If you'd like to pick it up, then shop via the link in description.
Let's make beautiful love.
Do it. See ya.